Hi everyone, my name is Susan Prater. I am in the state of South Carolina, so I'm going to be comparing and contrasting the informed consent form of an LPC who actually graduated from the same program that we are in. She works at the iHope Center for Christian Care and Counseling, so I'll be comparing and contrasting her informed consent with that of the state of South Carolina's board and the ACA Code of Ethics. So to start out, she says, in an effort to help you make informed decisions about your counseling experience, the following paragraphs are to tell you about your counselor's background and qualifications and about your rights and responsibilities as a client. She lists her qualifications, that she has a Master's of Arts degree from Liberty in the Accredited Professional Counseling Program. She lists that she's licensed by the state of South Carolina as an LPCA. She lists the South Carolina Department of Labor Licensing and Regulations address and telephone number in case someone needed to lodge a complaint against her. She discusses her fee structure. She says the C attached financial policy and fee structure. The next section, she discusses her method of counseling. She says, I'm a Christian counselor, which means that my method of counseling is based on biblical principles and a Christian worldview. She says that her beliefs impact and shape her work with clients, but she's happy to work with clients who have a different worldview. The types of therapeutic techniques that she uses include, but are not limited to, traditional talk therapy, worksheets, speaker listener, prayer, role-playing, homework, EMDR, CBT, and Bible reading. The goals, risks, and benefits she outlines. She says there's always a risk of emotional side effects from counseling. The counseling process may bring up painful emotions, and some symptoms may get worse before they get better. The goal is to confront these issues and emotions together and to work through them with time. The length of counseling, she says, is very difficult to predict given the unique strengths and struggles for each person. She says each session will last for 50 minutes in length, and she says she will not prolong counseling without due cause. She goes on to discuss confidentiality and right to privacy. She says that is essential to the process of establishing an atmosphere of safety and trust where information, thoughts, and feelings may be freely shared. She says while most communication between a client and counselor is confidential, the following limitations and exceptions do exist by South Carolina law. It says it's mandated by Section 63, requiring certain professionals, if you're a mandated reporter, so in instances of child abuse, elder abuse, or a disabled individual, that has to be reported. Also to prevent a clear and immediate danger to a person or persons. If the licensee is a defendant in a civil, criminal, or disciplinary action arising from the course of treatment, in which case confidences may be disclosed. If the client is the party in a criminal or civil proceeding. If a client introduces his mental condition as an element of a claim or defense. And also if the person is mandated to receive court counseling. Those are instances of confidentiality that may be breached. She says, when necessary and appropriate, I will share my intent to notify relatives or the authorities before taking the above actions. This may not be possible in case of an emergency or a risk to safety. So her disclosure is very thorough. She also goes on to say about the counselor and client professional relationship. She says, my priority is to provide safe and ethical care and counseling for each client. For this reason, the counselor-client relationship is professional rather than personal in nature, which is very important in establishing specific guidelines and expectations, not only for the client, but for the counselor. I read a great article by Gurka et al. That says there are indications that the disclosure of transparent and contextualized information can effectively optimize treatment expectations. So in other words, set that expectation right up front, and hopefully there won't be any miscommunication or misunderstanding about what the client can expect during treatment. So this confidentiality and informed consent disclosure really lines up with the state and ACA principles of disclosing to clients the purpose, goals, techniques, procedures, limitations, potential risks, and benefits of the services to be performed. It talks about the implications of treatment and diagnosis. It discusses fees and billing. So all of those are similar. The only difference that I really could outline is the ACA Code of Ethics and Informed Consent discusses the use of technology, whereas this particular informed consent did not. Hope you enjoy this post, and I look forward to working with you all in this class.